And a flood watch in effect for today, especially across our western counties. We'll show you the timeline for additional showers and storms coming up.
And breaking news this morning, 2 people injured in an overnight shooting in Raleigh. How police managed to track down the victims who left the scene.
And 1 missing boater. Crews in Chatham County will resume their search on Jordan Lake for a second person who disappeared on the water. What new challenges they face today, but they are not giving up that search. It is 4:30 on your Wednesday morning. We are up and at 'em, and we're glad you're up with us. Let's start the day together. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Jeff Hogan, and we've gotten to the midweek point here. It's a Hump Day Wednesday. We'll get over this together. And Chris Michael's in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now, talking about the worst case that we could see today.
Exactly, and it's really going to be toward the evening. Your worst case impacts would be additional flooding and maybe some localized wind damage. We saw that with some of the storms, especially in Harnett County just yesterday evening. A stronger storm or two might contain some hail, but the thing is, this is going to be a late in the day kind of thing. As you head into the afternoon, can't rule out some isolated pop-up showers and storms, but a line or a broken line that feeds in from the Piedmont, that's going to come in after about 8 p.m., starting with our western counties and then moving from west to east. That's why we showed you that flood watch just a couple minutes ago. Live look over Wake County. There's some fair weather cumulus clouds developing. We're looking above those. Temperatures starting out in the mid to upper 70s. Plenty of time to get outside today and plenty of time for things to heat up. This is a look at the heat index once again. Not quite as high as yesterday, but the heat index will range between about 100 and 104. Prior to those storms, we'll show you what they may look like on radar using Futurecast coming up in a few minutes.
Breaking news, 2 victims were found after an overnight Raleigh shooting. It happened near an apartment complex on Hill Street, but the 2 were found at different locations, as you see on this map. WRAL's Ali Kadlubar joins us live now in Raleigh as we find out new information about the victims. Ali.
Yes, Renee, and just about an hour ago, we did see at least 3 police officers outside of Wake Med. This is about 3 miles away from where this all happened, where this shooting happened. Take a look at this video from the WRAL breaking news tracker last night. You can see there's evidence markers in the parking lot, in the hallways. It also happened at an apartment complex on Hill Street. Officers found a man with a bullet hole in his leg 5 miles away on Capitol Boulevard. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And this morning, several hours later, another person showed up to Wake Med with a gunshot wound. Police say that this was another victim in last night's shooting. They spent about an hour and a half getting more information from the victim here at Wake Med. This morning, we know from Raleigh police that the shooter is not in custody. We are working to find out what led up to this incident. Reporting in Raleigh, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
Also this morning, search crews will be on Jordan Lake once again looking for a missing boater. Crews found the body of one of the 2 boaters who disappeared Sunday evening, and the boaters were last seen launching their canoe in Chatham County. Their identities have not yet been released. Several agencies are involved in that search using boats and canines.
Several areas in the town of Hillsborough remain closed after it was hit hard by Chantal. WRAL's Laura Levine walks us through some of those places where there is a lot of work to be done.
Renee, good morning. The community of the Eno Arts Mill here right now really working to sort through what's left behind. As we know, flood concerns are not over. Out here in front of the building, you can see boxes of items being tossed out, things that cannot be salvaged being thrown away here, piling up now in this dumpster. This is a home, a creative safe space to dozens of artists and teens which lost nearly everything from the floods. Many of the artists lost decades of work. The space needs a full demo and restoration, and for now, volunteers and neighbors are helping with cleanup. The record-breaking crest of the Eno River also flowed into the Expedition School, a public charter school on the property. Everything from textbooks, furniture to technology was damaged weeks away from the start of school here. Katie Murray is the director of the Orange County Arts Commission and the executive director of the nonprofit Orange County Arts Alliance, and she says the setback is devastating.
That is the greatest loss right now, is that this community that we have built that is the home for so many people is no longer.
And the Eno Arts Mill does not have a timeline of reopening. The town remains under a boil advisory. Meanwhile, we know although the Eno River is under flood stage right now, there is still a flood risk today for Orange County. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Hillsborough.
North Carolina officials have confirmed another storm-related death. A woman reported missing during the weekend flooding was found dead in Alamance County. Graham police say they found 23-year-old Hajar Hasib dead inside a vehicle in a pond in Graham. Police believe she was on her way home Sunday when floodwaters swept her car away.
Governor Josh Stein says the state is stepping in to help county government with storm response after Chantal, and the counties will have plenty of money to recover. The governor was in Alamance and Orange counties yesterday to tour some of the damage. At a park in Mebane, he praised the first responders who rescued so many people from rising floodwaters in the affected counties. He also urged people to sign up for local emergency alerts at their county government's website. Stein says the ground is already saturated, so more flash flooding could be on the way. He says storms are getting stronger and more intense.
The heartbreak that families across the Piedmont are experiencing this week. I know one of the victim's sons very well, and their pain is pain that we would wish on no one. So let's all do everything we can to take care over the next few days to make sure that no one else in North Carolina experiences a loss of life to this storm.
Stein says state emergency officials are on the ground in affected counties, helping them with damage assessments. He said no estimate is available yet.
Several state parks are closed because of flooding from Chantal. This is a look at some of the damage at Eno River State Park. You can see the suspension bridge flooded out there, and Eno River State Park is one of 6 parks closed because of the storm. This is a list of all the parks currently closed, and more closures are expected this weekend because of continued rain.
People in Cumberland and Harnett counties are cleaning up the mess left behind from yesterday's pop-up thunderstorms. In Bun Level, this tree fell on a home as powerful winds passed through parts of our area yesterday. Terry Atkins says he was sitting in his bedroom when the tree fell, punching a hole directly overhead and flooding the house.
I'm just sitting there and I hear this loud crash, and then I can feel the vibration.
Atkins says he has about a dozen cats and several chickens at his home. He's now trying to find a place for all those animals to stay.
You can track severe weather with the newly redesigned WRAL weather app. It is free to download and use. Just remember to turn on those push notifications so you can get the latest timely weather updates sent right to your phone. A Raleigh man is facing a murder charge. Police arrested 29-year-old Jonathan Lee, and he is in jail this morning without bond. Police say this all started yesterday morning at Austin Grove Drive. Police found William Holla, who they believe to be the victim of assault, and he later died at a hospital. Jonathan Lee was charged with murder in connection with that death, and the investigation continues.
One person is recovering after a late-night crash in Cary. This happened around 9:30 last night near the intersection of Southeast Cary Parkway and Tryon Road. According to police, 2 SUVs crashed into each other. During the collision, one SUV swerved off the road. The driver of the second SUV was taken to the hospital with injuries. That driver is expected to be okay.
New satellite images show the magnitude of destruction in central Texas. These photos show the before and after deadly flooding there. More than 160 people are still missing. More than 110 people are confirmed dead across 6 counties. Today, search and rescue crews will be out looking for survivors. No survivors, though, have been found since Friday.
A sentencing date has been set for Sean Diddy Combs. He is expected to be sentenced October 3rd. A jury found him guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution last week after an 8-week trial. Combs was found not guilty on the more serious charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. The music mogul faces up to 20 years in prison. 4:39 coming up, a deadly plane crash. The FAA releases new details about the moments leading up to a tragedy for a Lee County family. Those details and how the family is being remembered.
And in the dark, a new report warning Americans about energy blackouts. Why the Energy Department says we're all at risk if something doesn't change.
And today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. You're looking live at Franklin Street in Chapel Hill from our WRAL Live Cam network. All roads dry right now. Up next, meteorologist Chris Michaels tells us when storms may arrive and the potential for more flooding.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
We're coming up on 4:44 in the morning, starting out with a clear sky outside our studios, but you see the clouds starting to roll in here. And not going to go producing any rain this morning. We're mostly dry. It's just already warm out there with temperatures running in the mid to upper 70s. Pardon me, by 9 a.m. will be near 80 degrees. High temperatures today, still hot. I mean, look, it's July. You expect that. Temperatures about 90 to 93, and that's prior to showers and storms that move in out of the west. Most of those are going to be coming in around, if not after sunset. The unfortunate thing is that it could lead to some additional flash flooding, especially for those of us that got hit hard this past weekend. We'll show you the hour-by-hour outlook and how things are going to look on Futurecast. That's coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We're learning new details in the Lee County plane crash that killed a family of 4. The National Transportation Safety Board says the plane was coming from Merritt Island, Florida, headed to the Raleigh Executive Jetport in Sanford. Authorities say the plane lost communication and navigation. The wreckage will be taken to Tennessee for further evaluation. The investigator says their work on site is almost finished, which is very quick in a situation like this. He says it's because of the way the crash happened.
It's all within one location, which is helpful. We have all the components of the airplane right there in one spot, and it's contained to a diameter, I'd say, about a 50-yard circle.
WRAL's Heidi Kirk learned new information about the family who lost their lives in the crash.
There's no better place to hear stories about the Buchanans than at the heart of this tobacco field in Lee County.
Tobacco farmers are a dying breed. You know, this is a lot of labor.
Labor that Travis Buchanan never shied away from, learning what he knew from Patrick Kelly's uncle as a teenager and going on to run his own business in Sanford.
It takes a lot of people to do this, and his extended family on the farm is huge. And I know that's just as hard for them today as it is his own family.
The passing of the Buchanans echoes throughout this community, all 4 of them familiar from their farm, food truck, and produce stand.
Travis didn't know them, but they knew of Travis and Candace because of what they did.
This footage from Sky 5 shows the aftermath of the plane crash that took their lives as they traveled home from a beach vacation. The 2 children, just 9 and 10 years old. They're being remembered by their classmates at Grace Christian School.
Walker, he was really nice and he was always kind to people. And same with Aubrey.
The legacy of all of them lives on this farm. People stepping up to make sure it continues.
This community is tight-knit to begin with, but even the farmers are more tight-knit because when someone else is down, someone else fills in the gap and helps out, which I'm sure is happening right now as we speak with people making sure that his 600 acres of tobacco and produce is being taken care of.
No better way to remember a family that left their mark on this community.
Such a beautiful family. A preliminary report is expected to be available in the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Wake County is installing real-time water level monitoring hardware at 9 flood control sites this summer. It comes after Lake Crabtree got the first system last year. The sites include dams that help manage flooding within the Crabtree Creek watershed. The new equipment will track water levels and assist Wake County staff in the maintenance and operation of those dams.
Americans could face 800 hours of blackouts a year by 2030. That's according to a report by the Department of Energy. The department blames scheduled shutdowns of current energy facilities, as well as the inability to replace them with new power sources. According to the report, construction of AI data centers and manufacturing centers have increased the demand for electricity. If you want to help people affected by the flooding in Texas or the storm that hit North Carolina, the Better Business Bureau has some guidance. Be cautious when donating goods. It's not necessarily the best way to help. Find out what the specific charity needs. Consider crowdfunding requests and recognize the phases of disaster relief and verify the charity's trustworthiness.
Wake County's cooling centers will be open again today to give people a place to escape the heat. If you don't have access to air conditioning, you can cool off at libraries, regional centers, and Health and Human Services offices. 4:48 right now. Yes, the heat will be one thing, but more storms are going to pop up today. And Chris Michaels in the WRAL Severe Weather Center right now with this Weather Alert Day takeaway.
Exactly, yeah. So the storms that we see are really going to be geared toward the evening, right? But nonetheless, it does lead to a threat for some additional flooding. That's why it's important you have our weather app downloaded and make sure the alerts are turned on. There's a study that shows 43% of people across the globe have those alerts turned off. It's important that you have them on. Reason being is all it takes is about 1 to 2.5 inches of rain in our western counties for more flooding to occur. And you guys know that with summertime thunderstorms, that can easily drop. The farther east you go, it's about 2.5 to 4 inches of rain is what it would take. That's why our western counties are under a flood watch starting at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. today, we may just see a few hit or miss showers and storms. It'll be very isolated by that time. Storms will start building toward the mountains in the foothills as we head into the afternoon, which is a pretty common feature in North Carolina weather. And then after 8 or 9 p.m., that's when we see this line, or this broken line of showers and storms moving through. And this is what could cause some additional flooding up until about midnight or so in our western counties. And then it moves from west to east heading into the early morning hours on Thursday. Thursday afternoon, we hold on to the chance for some additional flooding. Wouldn't surprise me to see another flood watch issued by then. And then by Friday, it starts to drop off a little bit. The threat for flooding does. Live look over the DBAP right now. All is quiet in the Bull City. Temperatures are in the 70s currently. And today, another hot day, just maybe not quite as intense as what we saw yesterday. High temperatures between 91 and 93. The heat index getting into the triple digits. And again, that's pretty common for this time of year. Storm chances you see there really starting to rise as we go near or beyond sunset. Tomorrow is going to wind up being another alert day, and I know a lot have been issued. It's just been a very active pattern here recently, but more storms could produce some flooding and some wind gusts tomorrow. We stay stormy through Friday. Then, guys, as we settle into the weekend, we turn hotter, temperatures mid-90s, and storm chances by then should at least be a little more hit and miss than what we expect this evening.
Thanks, Chris. Up next, under review, auto safety regulators are looking into the recalls of a popular pickup truck brand. What you need to know about this investigation.
Also, spending smart, from big ticket items to everyday purchases. 5 on Your Side explains how to make the most of your money after the latest tariff announcement. A new law in North Carolina extends Class C driver's licenses for 2 years. Governor Josh Stein signed the bill into law Tuesday. If your license expired July 1st, it'll be valid for driving purposes for another 2 years. The rule only applies to driving, meaning the license would not be valid for other uses. So you can't use an expired license to buy alcohol or cigarettes, get a bank loan, or board a flight. It's in effect until December 31st, 2027. And as a reminder, Saturday walk-in hours will pick back up this weekend.
Recalls of more than 1 million Dodge Ram pickup trucks are being investigated by federal auto safety regulators. They're looking into whether the 2017 and 2018 recalls were sufficient enough to fix a flaw that could lead to the vehicles rolling away unexpectedly. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration got 20 reports indicating previous recall repairs did not fix the problem. The agency says a handful of incidents involved injuries and several others that reportedly led to a crash or fire.
There are changes coming to the next movie in a major franchise, and a pair of streaming shows are making waves. David Daniel has today's Hollywood Minute.
The world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that.
K-pop Demon Hunters is a phenomenon. The series about a K-pop girl group that slays demons on the side tops Netflix's global movies list. And the soundtrack album is surging up the Billboard 200 with 7 different songs on this week's Hot 100.
made to send a message. You're about to find out that it's all just starting.
There's no stopping slow horses. Season 5 of the spy drama is set to debut September 24th on Apple TV Plus, which had already announced a season 6 was in the works. And now the streamer says fans can look forward to a 7th season, in which the team searches for a mole in the British government.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope!
An update for Dune fans. The 3rd film in the franchise is set to be based on Frank Herbert's novel Dune Messiah, so that was expected to be the movie's title as well. Now it turns out the follow-up to Dune Part 2 will be called Dune Part 3. Counting them off in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
2 people hurt in a shooting. What we are learning about the investigation and how police managed to track down the victims.
Power outages. We are live in Raleigh, where outages are affecting traffic lights.
Plus, a missing boater. Crews resumed their search on Lake Jordan, or Jordan Lake, I should say, for a second person who disappeared on that water. What new challenges they face today.